it's a girl Pauline here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing fine. I am fantastic, guys, and I thank God for this day. Welcome to today's video. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for clicking this video. I thank you so much. To my new subscribers, guys, thank you for joining this family. Feel free and may God bless you for supporting me. And to my returning subscribers, I cannot forget you guys. Thank you so much. May you also be blessed. Welcome to today's episode, of which it is a part 3 of how I ended up being deported in Qatar. So guys, we reached at that place where I was looking for a taxi to go to the DCI. So guys, without further ado, let's start the video, and I hope you're trying to catch up with part 1, part 2, and now this is part 3. Without further ado, let's do this, guys. So guys, at this point I was still with the Nigerian who was helping me look for a taxi. So we saw a taxi, and inside there was also an African. That guy was an Ethiopian, and now the Nigerian guy was like, wait brother, stop. Then the guy, he pulled off. So it was like, kindly help this our sister, she wants to go to the DCI, although it is very late, but she needs to be there. Take her please and take care of her. So for me, I just felt like God was with me, and I also again felt like it was really like my time to get out of that house, and maybe my time was done for me to stay at that place. Because at first, if it wasn't God's plan for me to get out of it, I always believe like the first time that I went to report the case at the police station, they could have told me you cannot go, you have to go back to your employer, but nothing of that sort happened. Actually, they told me if you have stayed for a year, 4 months, you can go home, and she's not supposed to demand any cash from you, and actually she's the one who's supposed to pay the ticket for you, not you are supposed to pay. And so they wrote down the location of where I was supposed to go, and now it was time, guys, for me to go with a taxi. So we went to the taxi driver, and on our way it was around maybe 8, it was 7 something, let's say around some minutes to 8. So we went, guys, and the place was already closed, no one was there, and I was told that I should go the following day. Being told that I am supposed to go the following day, remember, I cannot go back to that lady's house. I cannot go sleep at the station because I'm not allowed to sleep there, and I don't know where to go. Now this is why, guys, I was telling you, taking numbers from my fellow Kenyans or my fellow Africans, that is something that helped me a lot. And I don't know why that lady was against me, maybe exchanging contacts with people, but I can say it helped me, you know. So I had few numbers from my fellow Kenyans, like I had 3 different numbers from 3 different people, and so I started contacting them, and one was like, okay, I know someone who can help you, Kimboy, and that person will help you find a job. And I was like, I do not want to Kimboy, and the only thing that I want is to go back home. I just want to relax and to make up my mind if I want to still come the same job or what kind of job I will go to do next. But about Kimboy, that is something that I do not want, because normally I don't advise even people to do so. And that guy was like, okay, I will just give you a number, just try to contact her, see if you can come to an agreement, but for her, that is what she does. And I was like, no. Though she gave me the location, I never went there. Like, my instincts were like, no, Pauline, you cannot go there. Then I was still communicating with the driver, and I asked him like, what time does the embassy close? And the embassy actually at that time also, they were closed, so I couldn't go to the Kenyan embassy, I couldn't go back to the DCI because the place was closed. And now when I was still scrolling my phone, I also find this lady. She's a Kenyan as well, and at that time she used to work in Qatar, and we used to meet oftenly in the exhibitions. Though on their side they used to sell coffee, we used to sell clothes, but we normally used to talk. Like, we could hide, go to the washrooms, and we would meet there, talk, then come back. And that is what helps me, guys, because I called her. But during that month, we were talking like on daily basis, and she knew what was happening, and she was the first one to advise me, like, Pauline, you should go report this, or you should tell her you don't want to work, because you are being hurt by the end of the situation. So I called her and I told her, you know what, today this and this happened, and I just decided to go out of the house to go and report this case, and for me, I don't want to go back there, and it is late, I don't know where to sleep. And she was like, where are you now? I didn't even know the location, because I was definitely I was a year and 4 months in Qatar, but you know, I used to work inside, and whenever we go for the business, it was in the south town center, not like everywhere. So the location, I was not so sure about it, but the driver, she talked to the driver, and the driver told her the location, and she was like, bring her to this certain place. And guys, I went to her. She was still at the coffee shop, she had not closed, so we stayed there until maybe 10. And she was like, now Pauline, you know, because it is this time, and my boss, she don't know if I can if you're here, and I don't know if she can allow me to keep you in the house, because you know, I am also employed. I have a cousin who works, is an where they used to do like what is this called? Okay, they make coffee. Let me say they make coffee. Barista, yeah. They work, they are barista guys, and they also have accommodations whereby they have ladies and gents, different accommodations. So she gave me his cousin's contacts, and she contacted a cousin, and she was like, okay, the cousin is Oliver, and the girl who helped me is Rosie. I have guys to give you a shout out because you did what you did, and I'm so thankful to you guys. So Rosie, she called Oliver, and Oliver was like, okay, just tell her to board this taxi and let her to come at this certain place. So I went, guys. Oliver came and picked me, and he took me to her friends, to his friends, colleagues. Like they all work in the same place, but they all have different accommodations. And remember, there boys and girls, they don't they don't mix. So if it's accommodation, they are separate, like girls this side and men this side. So he had already spoken to his colleagues, and they were like, okay, just let her come, it's fine. So I went, guys, and he took me there. And remember, because we met in dark, I didn't even get the time to see his face. So we went, and we entered the house, of course. And in that accommodation, like the same house, it was 3-bedroom house with 3 girls from the same company. So first of all, there's that girl who he had spoken to, and the same girl who said I should go. I went to see her, but she looked familiar. We just said hi, but behind me now there was another girl who was talking behind me. I didn't know who she was. So when I turned back to look who was talking to me, I wanted to say hi. Guys, guess what? I knew that girl. Turning around to see the other girl, I also knew her. And now the most shocking thing was, turning behind and seeing Oliver, I also knew him. How did I know them? They used to sell coffee, as I said, they are baristas, and during exhibition we find like exhibitions not just for clothes. The exhibition is an open market whereby you can go with your stuff and sell there, you know. So many people, like jewelries, clothes, food, anything you sell, you can go there and sell. So we used to meet there, and my madam, she used to send me coffee most of the times, and I used to buy coffee from them. So that is how I knew them. But now, you know, because we just send and your time is limited, you can't keep on talking with people, so we never get time to talk during the exhibition. But that time they was like, you sell a buyer, and I was like, yeah, and you guys, you sell coffee. So we were like shocked, and there I believed like God has his own plans, you know. So I just felt like I'm already at home, and they were so kind, guys. May God bless you. They gave me clothes to change, shower, like if they took care of me. And then the following day, I was like, you guys, you know, I have to wake up early because I'm still looking for what I want, and I don't want to stay outside for long, because if it happens and maybe the cops get you, you will like you'll be maybe they will file a case for you, maybe for running away or something, but that was not my case. So what happened? We slept, of course, that night, and now the following day, one lady, one of the girls, her name was Spencer or what? Actually, I forgot her name, but I don't remember her name. I think I forgotten. I've forgotten actually. But she called Uber. She ordered an Uber for me. So the first thing that I went, they were like, no, Pauline, don't go to the embassy first, and do not go to the DCI. First, go to the Ministry of Labor and explain your case and see what they will do. Because if she's not supposed to do this to you, the Ministry of Labor will hold her responsible for the charges. She will be charged. So I went to the Ministry of Labor, of course. I went and queued. Then it was my turn to go inside. I went and explained myself, and the man, it was not like a young man, he was an elderly man, because I guessing from his age, he was maybe 70 or 75 years old in that office, and it took time to listen to me as his daughter, and I cannot say he did that because he was African. He was not African, he was Arabic, but he knew how to speak English. So we spoke, and he asked me, and do you want to work somewhere else? I told him, okay, if you can guarantee me to get a better place, definitely I will, but if it is not impossible, I just better go back home, because that is what is in my mind. Then he was like, okay, I want to help you so much, you're like a daughter to me, but the only thing I can do, and this is what we follow like a protocol over here. First I have to send you, then he gave me a paper, a form, to take it back to the Kenyan embassy, and they will fill it, and they will do the decision. Should I go back to the should I go back to the Ministry of Labor, or should I be able to go back home? So I went to the Kenyan embassy, and they kept me, guys. They kept me. You just go, you find a queue of 4 people, and no one is. They don't care. Like, you're there, you just wait until it is your time for you to be called in or something. So I waited maybe almost 5 hours. You're still there waiting, but now like so many people has so many different cases. So you find like 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, even 10 people. So you're just there talking stories and some sort of stuff. So I waited until I was called inside, and when I went, I talked to them, explained myself, and they were like, okay, we've heard you, but now things have changed, and nowadays you cannot come from this house and change it, because already your name and your visa is under someone else. You cannot do that until that law is passed. So what we can offer you is, maybe we give you a letter that you will take to the DCI, and they will help you go back home and take your stuff. So that is what I did. They give me the letter, and I took it to the DCI. And going again to the DCI, guys, it was about being late, maybe around 7. Although at that time they were about to close. So I went, and they told me, we are about to close, and come again tomorrow. So it's like going and coming, going and coming. But unfortunately, on my way back now, when I want to exit from the DCI, I found Kenyans outside the DCI, and also most of them had just like run away. They were boys, and I think when they went outside, life was so hard for them until they didn't have anything to eat. So that is where not just Kenyans, but so many nationalities were there. But now I was happy because I have seen my own people there, and there is where they could go, because when the police guys are going out, or maybe when their dinner is being brought, they used to order more, or even excess food was being brought, so that they will go give also the people who are outside. So that is how they used to survive. And many were just like, you just go there, you get your food, and you go. Actually, I love their kindness. They are so kind, and not just because you don't have a place to stay, but I think they were so, the kindness was on another level. That is something I never expected. So when I went there and I saw these guys, I just called Spencer. Her name was Spencer, now I remember. I called her and our roommates, and I was like, okay, you guys, this is what happened. And instead of me coming and again tomorrow I come back, I think the best thing for me to do is I just stay here with these Kenyans. Then tomorrow morning I will go. Remember, guys, I'm still on my uniform. I still have on that jacket, just the way I came yesterday from that house. That is how I was. But thank God I used to get place to shower and all that stuff for that one day. So I spent the night there talking about what happened. Like, you just want to know, how come all of these people are here? They have no place to sleep. So when you listen to many of them, most of them were just was like, you were told by someone to run away. That is something you did, and now you are regretting it because it did not work where you were taken. So the night end, and in the morning, one girl, she was like, okay, if you want to get help quickly, if you want to get inside, what you will do is, nowadays, you find like in this location, there's a police station for this location. You know, every location has a police station. So where I was supposed to go to the police station of that area than going to the city police station. Although I wrote a statement there, I was told like the easiest way for me to get help is going to the location, to the, you know, it's like there's someone who is in charge of that location, but there's a police station. So I asked for the location, how I can get to that police. Then I got a taxi and I went. And now going there, I think it was very early, maybe 8 o'clock. I went early. So at 9 I was there, and they all welcomed me and was like, okay, are you ready to arrest me or what? Why are you so happy to see me? And they were all smiling, actually, ladies and gents, all policemen, I mean. So I went, I explained myself, of course, but in the entrance you have to give your identity card, and if you do not have, you have to give out your passport number so that they can check if it is true what you're claiming. Because here, if you're working under someone or under a company, when you give out your ID card or your passport number, every detail comes out. Like, they will know who is your employer when you enter the country, if you have an ID or not. Those details, they will have them. So I gave out my passport number, because even my ID, I didn't have it. When it was out, she took it and kept it. So I even had more reasons for me to tell them, and they also saw the reasons, and they were like, why don't you have your ID with you? I told them, my madam, she took it. I've never used it, I've never touched it. Every time maybe we are going outside, we are going to the airport, she has to give it to me just to show, and immediately she will take it. And now that was written down, and again she was like, do you have any other problem? I told them, yes. Where we stay in our room, we don't have any privacy. When you're wearing, everyone, like the camera is there looking at you, you don't have privacy. I sleep at this time, I go for business. I told them everything, and they were writing it down. Everything was written down. And they asked me, do you know a number? Because also remember, in the system there's one number which was given, and she was not picking it. I don't know why, but they called her several times, she was not picking. And now they asked me, do you have any other number for her? And I gave it out because I also had another number. So she was called and she picked the phone, and they asked her, do you know so and so? Yes. Who is she to you? Then she answered. And why is she here? Why is she not in the house with you? I don't know what she said. And they were like, okay, she's here, she doesn't want to work again for you. She told you that she didn't want to work, and you said this and this. And you know very well, instead of paying her benefits, you're asking her to pay you this cash. I don't know why they were against her, but at some point I always feel like justice was done, you know, because they were there like to say what will happen and what will be done, something of that sort. So they told her, okay, we are giving you 2 days, pay for a ticket, bring her suitcase, her phone, whatever you have that belongs to her. We give you 2 good days, and make sure that you bring everything here. and then they hung up on her. So guys, at our place we always say utamu wa njugu ni kula pole pole. That means if you want to know the sweetness of peanut, you have to eat it one by one. That means this comes to the end of this part, and again let's meet the last part, which is part 4. And guys, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I love you all. Bye bye.